Hello, Taurus. It's going to be an amazing month of fun, play, and pleasure, maybe even fertility. With Lord Venus moving into your fifth house, and you're also going to benefit dramatically from an increase in your ability to be in a good relationship, even meet somebody new if you're single, but the one you have can improve. We're going to talk about what goes on this month in great detail. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian, and I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac, and I'm a whole sign house astrologer. Please hit that bell for notifications and hit that like button if you would please. It helps the channel grow. And also check out my webinar for the eclipses, because there are two eclipses in October, but we will not cover them in these all signs videos because they are too complicated and will take way too much time. But know that there is an eclipse Taurus coming up for you, and we'll talk a little bit about it. That's at the end of October because it's in the sign of Taurus. It's finishing an old eclipse cycle. They also would mention to you that the webinar is 90 minutes. It's coming up October the 3rd. And if you want to join me, it's free and there's a replay available. It's 90 minutes and I'll teach you how to harness these eclipses in Libra and in Taurus in October in your sky based on your sun sign, moon sign, but most potentially accurate rising sign. So let's get into this story for you, Taurus. And let me say, it's a big month because we have a lot of planets changing signs. We have Mercury, Venus, and Mars all shifting into different signs. So there's a definite change in the air, a feeling of something new. And in your case, the most important shift of energy will be the Venus shift. So we'll start there because Taurus is a Venus-ruled being. You're going to find that the Lord of your sign is moving into Virgo, which is going to feel like a time of increased enjoyment. Virgo is your fifth house. It is your home of pleasure, fun, play. And she gets there October the 8th and leaves November the 8th. So get ready to experience a time of greater enjoyment and greater sexual energy, and greater romance and romantic love. But if you are a woman, a person who is an egg carrier, and you are somebody who does not want to be pregnant, be careful because this is a fertility transit. So she can make you pregnant, especially with Jupiter at the very same time going through the house of your body, making you girthier, whether you're chubbier or you're pregnant, over the next year. And that transit makes you in a very tight fertility window. If you want it, grab it. If you don't, be careful. October the 12th to the 24th. Venus going through your fifth house, so does do you a positive favor if you're an entrepreneur. This is your creative house as well. So your creativity, your art, and your entrepreneurship are on a glow up. And during this month, as she moves through the sign of Virgo, the highlight of the month, like two highlights of the month. I'm jumping out of chronology just to cover this for you. She'll come into a very lucky trine to Jupiter on October 21st to the 24th. And that is exceptionally good time for you personally. It's like you could be lucky. You could be superiorly fortunate. You might count your blessings. It is a lottery win house. So some of you Tauruses could win lottery money even October 21st to the 24th. Speculative financial risk can also pay off during that window of time. And you may just hear about something positive as well. So that trine to Jupiter from Virgo to Taurus, Jupiter moving through the house of you, is really a lovely period of time. And at the very same time that this is positive stuff is happening in your sky, we'll have the sun as well in the sign of Scorpio trining Saturn. Now, in your Scorpio part of your sky is your significant business and love relationships for the most part. Sometimes it's your marketplace for your audience and clients. And the sun here is lighting that part of your sky up. Could bring some good outcomes and good news to your significant other if you have that, or just light up your success with others in your life in general. And as the sun is moving through the sky in the sign of Scorpio, it is that 21st to the 24th succulent window of time where that sun is also in a flow to Saturn in your house of friendships. That's your 11th house of good spirit. Now, this can mean a really positive development with friends and allies and benefactors, or greater career gains through a new level of outreach to marketplace, audience, and client stories. Okay. And it's going to also include some support from Lord Mars, who's also trundling at the same time through the sign of Scorpio. And that means that this is a very dignified part of your chart for contracts, agreements, career gains, benefits from friends or allies, even possibly this is about a significant other in your life having a superior time of success in their career or purpose as well. Again, October 21st to 24th looks really positive. The sky has many other stories happening, and one of the big stories this month will be Mars moving into Scorpio on October the 12th, which is the house of your significant other. Minus that lovely succulent October 21st to the 24th, watch out for disagreements with your spouse or significant business partner or with clients. When Mars is moving through the 7th house, it can be a time of disharmony, conflict, or unease. And maybe that your partner is going through an aggressive period of time if you're already married. They're just having some aggressions in their own life. They're just either going for it, like full of drive and vim and vigor, or they're just in a very gnarly state and they're sharp swording at you. So watch for that. Begins October 12th. It doesn't end until November 24th, I'm sorry to say. But before that, before October 12th, Mars is in your 6th house. So the first, almost 2 weeks of October, he's helping you make decisions to exit out, quit, or leave, or get fired from a job, or to make dramatic changes in the way you approach your health and your exercise routines. Those are things that are going to be big on your radar for the first 2 weeks of October. So also, unfortunately, if you have a pet that it may not be well, having Mars through the house of pets can also be the end of a relationship with a pet. Yes, that means a pet may pass away. And it's horrible. You say those things on your channel. Like, life is full of real things. So yes. So until this, October the 12th, that story of Mars and Libra, it's the end of a 6 weeks journey. So, some of my Taurus friends have lost pets in that period of time. Anything else I want to say about the Mars narrative as a general? No, and just know that once Mars leaves your 6th house, any health challenges that involve inflammation will end. If you've been like having rashes or heat in the body, inflammation, autoimmune disorders flaring, once you get Mars out of the 7th house, October 12th, that probably will improve. All right. Okay, let's go into a chronological version of the month, okay, like step by step, and go through it in a little bit more detail. We start the month in the first 3 days of October with a super positive relationship between Lord Mercury finishing up his 2-month stay in Virgo, flowing in a trine to Pluto at 27 degrees of Capricorn. Now, this is a nice little vibe here for you, to say the least. Mercury is the god of marketing, merchandise, and mercantile. And he's been in your entrepreneurial and creative house for a long time, 2 months. And then he just flows up to Pluto. Now, Mercury here can be about some kind of prosperity news, some kind of winning or games of chance. Don't forget, we got some support from Venus here as well later on. And if you really do want to win money or could win money, this might be a mercurial story. But for the most part, Mercury here also can be about some kind of communication or creative idea that you have, and it's going to power up with Pluto in the 9th house of God. Now, the 9th house can be an international success at something. For example, writing a book that becomes an international bestseller, or getting an agent for that book. But also the 9th house is good outcomes when it comes to academic environments and also courts and legal matters. And this is a window of time where Mercury in your 5th house, a house of luck, supports better outcomes, powerful outcomes in your 9th house. So good things to do with school, churches, God, travel to foreign countries, the word international, and the creativity, ideas, talents, gifts, enjoyment, and fun. Anything else I want to say about that Mercury transit? No, it's only the first 3 days of October, because he's really at the very tail end of a very long stay in your natal 5th house. And Venus doesn't arrive there until October 8th. So this is before she shows up. So he's kind of on his own doing what he needs to do to finish a 2-month story in your 5th house of creativity, romance, sexuality, and more. Moving into the next story. As the month progresses, October the 8th to the 10th, we have some tension in the sky, and we'll call it the gnarly week. Mars is going to square Pluto. Mars will be in Libra, because don't forget, he hits the Scorpio zone later on the 12th. So 8th to the 10th, he's at the late degrees of Libra, and he squares Pluto at the late degrees of Capricorn. Big tension here to do with tenancies, rental agreements, and pets, perhaps. Possibly things to do with difficulties with work situations, bosses and colleagues and coworkers even are very much on your radar. This could be inter-office conflict with the boss, etc. And the square to Pluto in the 9th house could even just be tension between work environments and academic environments, or travel plans and work situations, or Yeah, pets and tenancy situations in a conflict with your academic or work or travel plans. And Pluto is about power, and father figures can be of the ninth house. So watch for blowouts, patriarchal figures in your life, especially if they involve work environments or health environments, even during the 8th to the 10th of the month. Venus will, at the same time, on the 8th to the 10th of October, oppose Saturn in Pisces from her Virgo perch. Kind of feeling here, because that's happening as she moves into the sign of, oh, sorry, let me get Venus up on my radar. Yeah, October 8th, she was already here. Okay, so she's going to end up squaring, opposing Saturn. He's retrograding. He's going backwards, right? Moving backwards around 0 degrees of Pisces, and she comes into an opposition to him. I would say watch out for difficult circumstances with friends or groups of belonging, clubs you belong to, friends you belong to. And this can be some kind of situation where there's a disagreement, but it's very intense regarding things that are enjoyable or enjoyment, pleasure oriented. Honestly, Saturn wants longevity and Venus wants fun and pleasure. And there's some kind of disagreement with either an elder sibling or a friend that could be about the various ways that love is hard, friendship is hard, and there's hardship in friendships, that kind of thing. Venus in the 5th house wants to be creative, and Saturn just wants to stabilize your income and your success from your career. So you may be feeling you want to hit the art studio, and yet you have to work hard to get your career gains out there. For example, just examples, but it's a tense sky, October 8th to the 10th. And I just will add one more thing to that here for you. Venus is important to you, right? She's the Lord of your sign, and she does rule your physical body. And in that regard, and also your house of sickness. So watch for challenges to your physical health, mental health, or emotional health on the 8th to the 10th of October. Only good thing I'll say is Lord Jupiter in Taurus is sort of saving the day and helping remediate any serious difficulties with health, body, mental, or emotional stress or health. All right, moving into the next part of the story, you have October 12th to the 14th, or we do, where Mars trines Saturn in a positive flow, which is wonderful. We haven't seen that Mars trine Saturn since 1995, so you may as well enjoy it while it's here. Now, Mars trining Saturn is about what you want to achieve in a long-lasting, enduring way. And Mars is in the sign of Scorpio. That's your significant business partnerships and creative and marriage partner and audience and marketplace. And Saturn, of course, is in that 11th house of great career gains, as well as your hopes, dreams, and wishes. So you may be reorienting yourself in a positive way, October 12th to 14th, to what some of your higher ambitions and dreams are for your life, but also understanding that you need to do that in partnership with others that are working on the same page as you and going in the same direction. Also, because Mars cuts, severs, and ends, you may cut or end a relationship, a business agreement, or a partnership in order to have better activation of your longer dreams and wishes and goals, just because that's what Mars can do, although it will benefit you in the end. Or your partner may cut from you in business and love, but it will benefit you financially in the long run, especially as Saturn goes direct after November the 4th. Okay, and then I would like to mention a Cazimi. We have Mercury coming in. I'm sorry about that sound outside my recording window, guys. We have Mercury Cazimi, Mercury in the heart of the sun, doing a reset at 26 degrees of the sign of Libra. This is a tenancy house reset. Like, are you going to rent a new place? Are you going to rent out a new place? Are you going to get a new pet? Are you going to reset the button here in the 2 months that follows the October 20th Cazimi? You're feeling the energy 19 to 21. When it comes to a health protocol or a work situation, certainly the Cazimi can be a divine download, a new insight or understanding around health challenges or work situations on October the 19th, the 21st. Exact on the Cazimi, conjunct Persephone. I'll be doing a webinar on that, and that means you could go from victim to victor consciousness regarding work and health situations, maybe getting a divine insight about both of those matters in that window of time. What makes this a little bit more challenging, however, is a square to Pluto at the very same time. And this is also on the nodes of fate, as this Cazimi is on the south node. You may have to let go of a pet, a work situation, or a tenancy agreement. I'm squaring Pluto because it's going to transform you in some way. It's what you need to do, especially if this transformation regards things to do with travel, foreigners, foreign lands, or academia and academic settings. Just a practical example, do you need to let go of a job so you can focus on your studies? And if you get the aha, or drop a course so you can focus on your job, I don't know, but that's just an example of what could be happening here for the Taurus people, October 19th to the 21st. All right, guys, October the 21st to the 24th. Venus is trining. I talked about that already. I started with a highlight with you guys because you're Taurus ruled. So we'll ignore that now. I do want to mention that when Mars is moving through Libra, which I forgot to say, when he's moving through the sign of Libra, at the end of September and the beginning of October, he is connecting with the South Node. And it can mean a major loss here regarding pets, rental agreements, work situations, a letting go of some kind. Okay, keep that in mind. A lot of you may change your job as a result of the end of September and the first 10 days or so of October. Now, moving back into the last part of the sky story of the month of October 23, we have October 27th to the 30th. Mars is going to end up coming into a conjunction with Mercury. They're going to join together and fuse together around 11 degrees. And is that right? Yes, 11 degrees of the sign of Scorpio. Now, this is coming into the sky as Mars is invisible. He's becoming invisible October, November, December. So when Mars is invisible in your seventh house, there's a possibility what we see with Mercury is secret communications or hidden communications going on, or decisions or ideas going on with your business or love partner. And you may not be aware of it because Mars is invisible at this time. But there's an opposition to Jupiter as this Mars conjuncts Mercury, invisible Mars conjuncts Mercury and Scorpio, and Jupiter's in the house of you. And Mars oppositions to Jupiter in general are like, Jupiter wants to expand and Mars wants to, blow things up. It's very explosive energy. Anything Mars and Jupiter together can be kaboom. So watch for a potential gnarly and intense October 27th or 30th, where you could have a blow up in a business partnership, client relationship, or significant committed love relationship. Just be cautious for that. And it could come because your partner is hiding or keeping low key what they really are feeling or thinking about something. Where again, business or love partnerships or legal agreements can blow up in your face as well. Jupiter is retrograde right until the end of December, and he's not doing his super Santa Claus version of himself. So, he's not as powerful as he could be to combat that Mars at that time. And lastly, we have the end of the month. I love this. I think I mentioned it for you. There's a Venus trine Uranus. And if I didn't, here we go. Positive end at the end of the day, Halloween-ish time. Venus in a trine to Uranus is exciting developments around pregnancy, fertility, unexpected though. Oh, honey, I'm pregnant. Commitment, love, and you love if you're single, surprising you out of the blue, romance coming up for people around Halloween. It's positive here for creativity, entrepreneurship, and money speculation, including lottery tickets. Surprise, you won October 31st, whether you win a Halloween raffle or a big lottery ticket. It's a lucky end of the month for you, Taurus. Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the webinar on the eclipses. I'm going to put a lot of effort into teaching you each sign how to use this. It's going to be very practical, how to use the Taurus eclipse, how to use the Libra eclipse, what best suggestions I have and what it might mean for your sign. Even though I'm doing all signs videos on YouTube, this is teaching you how to do this sky yourself. So October the 3rd, come join me for that. It's free. There's a replay. You may want to get the inside scoop on the eclipses. All right. I'll see you guys around. Don't forget, I do readings, but I'm booked, but I have a wait list. I have my Patreon community gets this first. This is recorded September 20th. I think you guys are going to get it about 4 or 5 days later on YouTube. So if you're interested in ad-free early access, come join my channel. I know I'm going to get a lot of comments about my touching my hair, moving my neck, fixing my earrings, but sorry. It's been a really busy September for me, and I'm spending too much time at my desk. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Ciao. Bless you all.